STN Racing proudly presents the High Line Racing League, the HighPoint.com Premier Series, coming to you live tonight from Rockingham Speedway. It's not just a boulder, it's the rock. I made the joke already. There you go. All right, so qualifying is complete here from Rockingham. Jacob Hitz, Kevin McAdams here with you for the call. Zach Johnson, our producer, for tonight, as always. So the iRacing gods like us this week. We're at Rockingham, probably one of the better picks for tonight. Kevin, should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and you know how much I love this place. Our good compatriot Sean Butler also loved this place. I'm sure he's sad that he can't be here, but I think it's going to be a really eventful night. Very close in terms of the lap times. Got guys within about a tenth of each other in the top 10. So going to be really competitive, and you know this is something I haven't seen yet. These ARCA style nationwide series cars here at Rockingham, they made some adjustments to this track, and it definitely has been for the better. We'll be seeing 2 and 3 wide racing all night long.
Let's take a look at the starting grid for tonight's race. Scott Zellner starts on pole. Caleb Morrissey starts from position number 2. Brad Crescent, Justin Malarkey, position 3 and 4. Malarkey, of course, has been so close so many times. He just hasn't been able to capture the flag yet. Alan Kuhnman in 5th. Austin Bloom in 6th. James McKee 7th. Ryan Potter in 8th. Tony Whittier 9th. And Dylan Petit right at the top 10.
Kendall Kerr will be starting in the 11th position. Tyler Snyder will be rolling off in 12th. Adam Bossy in the 13th position. Patrick Green will roll off in 14th. Scott Wheeler Jr. will start in the inside of row 8. Cody Robinson in 16th. Andrew Siegel in 17th. Chance Duckworth. Only one Duckworth this week. Interesting. He will start in the 18th position. Scott McCarris in 19th. And rounding out our top 20, Jake, is Andrew Baker in the number 2.
And then Trevor Hook, Dalton Beer rounding out the field. Beer is not on the racetrack, so it looks like we're going to have 21 unofficially here at the start of the race. So last week's winner, Kendall Kerr, starts deep in the field. The winner from 2 weeks ago in Las Vegas starts P7 in James McKee. Justin Malarkey has been so close twice. He's won nothing. He starts from position number 4. Glad you're watching. Let's get rolling here from the Rock. Scott Zellner leads us down to the green flag. Pace car is on pit road. We're racing here from the Rock.
And as they go through the backstretch.
Treble back straightaway already. Kendall Kerr in the wall. One car up on its side.
Oh!
That is Tyler Snyder. Caution flag is out. Tyler Snyder on his side, still up in turn number 3. Car's going to roll down the banking once, twice, 3 times, and it's going to land on its side because of the wall. Now it's on its wheels.
He was all over the place.
So Tyler Snyder gets squeezed into the wall by last week's winner in Kendall Kerr, and that's the first caution flag of the day. It happened coming off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. We'll get a replay here in a moment.
Carl Long would love that performance down the backstretch of Tyler Snyder. We'll have to. I want to get a better vantage point if Zach, our producer, can. I would love to see if Kendall did move up into the 33. It looks like he might have, and you know, maybe he just thought he was clear. But yeah, it just seems that like he just up and over and on his side for 10, 15 seconds, and even though he hit the wall, still on his side, and there he goes. The banking finally takes him, barrel rolling 3-4 times, and then once again on his side, and then eventually gets back on his front wheels.
Looking at it from another angle, Tyler Snyder, he's running up to the wall. In fact, he's one of the closest drivers to that outside wall. I don't know if Kerr thought that Snyder was going to be a little bit higher. Snyder came down just a hair to fit in line with the car in front of him. Kerr came up thinking that Snyder may have been closer to the outside wall, and Snyder gets the worst end of it and winds up riding his driver's door all the way down the embankment here. My gosh.
Oh, I hope. Oh, yeah, he did. He kind of did. We can get another vantage point down the back stretch. It does look like that Snyder, he did come down a little bit, but
just a little.
Yeah, last time I was in the booth, for this series, we did have a slow start, but eventually, we got, up to green, got a little warmed up, and finally had some green flag runs. Hopefully, this is not an indicator of tonight's action.
But I didn't even make it through a full green flag lap. They only made it about halfway through that lap. So we do not have fast repairs, but by some holy miracle, Tyler Snyder is going to drive away in that thing. And not only did he drive it back to the pits, he's back on the racetrack after only being on pit road for a minute. Now, I'd imagine he still has damage to that thing. He probably just did that to stay on the lead lap. But he's going to catch up to the tail end of the field. Nobody is on pit road right now. Kendall Kerr also got out before the pace car got to him. Dalton Beerer on the racetrack. He's 3 laps down since he missed the start of the race and started from the pits.
Yeah, it looks like Dalton finally did get back out there. Didn't take a qualifying lap, so I was worried he was a no-show altogether. But I'm sure he's looking at this first caution and thinking maybe I'll have a shot to get back on the lead lap here. But a little bit smaller field than we've seen the last 2 races. So he'll have an opportunity to get back up here and fight another day. We'll see. We'll see if these guys can get back green. As I think we're still 2 to green. Let's see.
These guys have apparently not learned the command to shorten caution flags.
Not yet. We'll get there.
Yeah, I'm hoping we find it soon. If this is the pace that we're going at tonight, it's going to be a long one here from the Rock.
125 laps. And, if we get under green, we were just here, Jake, for Road to Pro, and that race wasn't, too long, despite it being a 200-lap race. About 24, 25-second laps, a little bit faster than your conventional mile and a half. So we get going under green here. I think we'll be all right.
Just have to wait and see. We are half a lap away from the green flag. Caleb Morrissey took the race lead off the initial start. He's going to choose the outside line, which is where he started this race. He's going to stay up top and keep Scott Zellner on the inside. So Morrissey apparently liking what he had there on the inside, or there on the outside on that opening restart.
Yeah, and it seems like, this outside line, they did add, I wouldn't say more grip. It's just, takes the tires a little bit better. But you will wear out your tires, so he'll be going on the restart here on the outside line, but I'm sure he'll want to go to the inside. He is in the wall during the start. Spun the tires from the lead, and he is going to fall all the way back to around mid-pack as they're 3 wide now from 10th on back.
Saw somebody in the background spin their tires a little bit and slide it down to the inside. They were able to keep it straight. Morrissey was up by the wall to begin with, spun the tires on the restart, and just hooked her into the outside wall, able to keep rolling. He's going to lose 8 or so spots in the process, still rolling on the outside line, but it's Scott Zellner, your race leader. He's got a 3 or 4 car length lead over Brad Kress, and then it's a snarling pack behind him.
Going to actually spread out the top 5. First battle for position will be with Austin Bloom and Dylan Poteet. Battle for 6.
Straight away. Multiple cars. Morrissey up in the air. 1 car underneath him. The 97 goes around. That's Scott Wheeler. Tony Whittier involved. Adam Bossy piles in. The big one in turn 3 at Rockingham. Caleb Morrissey goes for a wild ride. He gets hit again by Tony Whittier. Long time after the crash. And we are back under caution. There were 2 different wrecks going on. There was somebody sliding behind them that first caught my eye, and then they started wrecking with Morrissey up in front. We'll get a replay.
We talk about calamity corners at these racetracks. So far, it's calamity's backstretch because that's 2 for 2 now on the incidents. It looks like Morrissey just, I wouldn't say got pinched, but they were just side by side, and he started to ride the wall in a very similar fashion that Snyder did. Got a little bit sideways, and that's what collected 5, 6, about a half dozen cars here in turn 3 and 4.
To be honest, it looks like Morrissey just got a little too wide, misjudged where he was at, and drove it into that outside wall. I don't think he got pinched or anything. He had plenty of room underneath him, just holding his line. Then he gets up and into the outside wall. That wall isn't straight up and down, which is why we saw the car long wreck long ago, and that's why we saw the wreck that we saw in that first caution. Kind of bounces Morrissey's car up into the air. He's able to keep it on the ground, but it knocks him down into Ryan Potter, who takes a hard shot to the inside wall. Morrissey then spins it, and Tony Whittier gets run into from Adam Bossy to collect the 97. That's what sent Whittier underneath the 6, and they just kept piling on in.
And Jake, that might have been intentional.
I don't know what that was about there with Whittier.
That might be intentional. I don't want to play official there, but that looked a little malicious. But going back to what you said, Jake, this track, the way they constructed the backstretch wall, it's 90 degrees relative to, the regular ground surface. Because of that banking around maybe 6 to 8 degrees on the backstretch, it acts like a ramp when you get up against it. And that's what causes that ramping effect. The right side tires just launch up and cause these guys to nearly flip themselves. It's something that actually is the case at a lot of short tracks as well. So you got to be really careful on that backstretch. But Caleb Morrissey, going from being in the lead to Murphy's Law just taking over what could go wrong for him tonight, absolutely has gone wrong for him tonight. And we're only on lap 10.
I don't understand what Whittier... Why would he be mad at Morrissey? Morrissey wrecked on his own accord. Whittier got run into from behind. It wasn't Morrissey that got into him. If that's malicious, I don't understand why it's malicious. Whittier's parked the car either way, so he's done for the night. I gotta think that that's just an honest mistake out of Whittier more than anything. He was trying to spin it around and just didn't get it spun around fast enough until, oh wait, there's the 6 car in my way again.
Yeah, I mean, he slows up for the wreck, and right behind him is Adam Bossy. And I think Whittier made the right decision in at that moment. You never know whether these guys are going to go, especially when the banking is as high as it is. It goes up and then they clean back down. But I'm sure it was just overall frustration. He just wanted to take it out on somebody at that moment, getting taken out this early on. He's out of the race, 22nd overall, and we're only 10% into the race.
So Scott Zellner is the race leader. He's going to choose the outside line here on the restart. Brad Kress will be on the inside. Then it's Kundman, McKee, Bloom, Petit, Siegel, Green, Baker, and Robinson. The top 10 were half a lap from Green Flag Racing once again here at the Rock. 2 cautions in. We'll have 11 laps complete of 125 here when we get the restart. Let's hope we can make it a little bit further this time.
Yeah. See if tire spin becomes an issue. Sean Butler would love to bring it up if he were here tonight. It is very easy to spin your tires in this package, in this car track combo. I did it a few months ago, and he has never let me live it down. But Green Flag is out. Zellner gets a much better restart than Morrissey did last time by. Single file the first 2 positions. That'll give third place battle the attention it deserves. Right now, McKee has to concede that position as well. Here comes Kundman on the inside.
Oh, man. Cody Robinson and Andrew Baker made contact, and I thought that was going to start another one. We keep it rolling. They were able to hang on, but certainly got scary for the time being off of turn 2. Thought we were going to have the calamity straightaway for the 3rd time in a row, but we're able to make it through another lap. Zellner leads the way. They're single file pretty much all the way through the top 10. First real battle is back here with Justin Malarkey, who pitted under the last caution, and Chance Duckworth. He's got Scott McCarris right behind him as well.
You are a live photographer. You would definitely want to have your camera pointed out of turn 2 down that backstretch. But right now, things maybe starting to settle out a little bit. Malarkey had a little bit of a battle with Duckworth. Duckworth thought better of it, backed out of that. But behind them, you got a battle between McCarris and Wheeler. McCarris hit the wall out of turn 2, I believe. He got sideways, nearly hit Wheeler out of turn 2 down the backstretch, but he will concede that position. And then behind them, who's that going to the pits? Ryan Potter.
Yeah, that's Potter again. He was involved in that last accident. That thing certainly looks like it's been beaten up. He's actually just going to park it and go home. So Ryan Potter has had more than enough fun from the Rock for one afternoon.
A lot of damage on that number 47 machine. Can't blame him. Tough break for a lot of these guys. 2 very major accidents early on here at Rockingham. It'll come out and bite you that wall out of turn 2. It kind of almost like a funnel effect. You go wide in these corners, but then you got to narrow up on the exit of turn 2, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But meanwhile, here comes Kundman on the inside. He is on the move. He was in 4th 2 laps ago. He has now made his way into the 2nd position. Brad Kress on that outside line, and so far right now, Jake, that outside line not as strong as we've seen in other vehicles.
And James McKee is going to take advantage of that as well. Pop to the inside of Kress and try and take this 3rd spot away. Of course, McKee won at Las Vegas with a crash on the last lap involving the top 2 that allowed McKee to come away with the win. Was involved in a wreck last week at Bristol. Didn't get the finish that he wanted, but having another good run here tonight. Here comes Dylan Petit to the inside of Austin Bloom.
Bloom going to hold him off for the time being. They pinch off out of turn 2. Bloom has a little bit of a run. Poteet might have to think a little bit for later. No, he's going to throw it in there. They're still side by side. That is going to be for the 5th position, and that might allow Patrick Green. He was in that mix for the win at Las Vegas. Unfortunately, was taken out in that crazy finish. Right now, he's in 7th, trying to stalk his prey and get to the top 5 as well.
Fastest lap of the race so far belongs to Malarkey. Go figure. There's no surprise. He's on fresh tires now. A 14.6 flat for Malarkey. And just to check, that was set on this green flag run. So, oh wait, no, that's practice. Race. Yes, that was set on this green flag run. So Malarkey, the fastest car on the racetrack. Here's the battle for the lead. Kunman on the door. Inside of the race leader is Zellner.
See if Zellner can defend on that outside line. Does so for the time being in 3 and 4. I think just the way the track is designed, you can really carry a lot of speed out of turn 4. But here comes that number 8 again. Right now, Alan Kunman is the driver to look out for if you're up front here in terms of battling for the win. He has shown his speed in that Dodge Charger, HendrickCars.com Chevrolet, or Dodge Charger. That's just it's an interesting combination. I can't wrap my head around it. But once again, they're side by side, and then behind them, there's going to be a snarling pack for 3rd as well.
Well, according to somebody in chat from last week's broadcast where we made fun of this, apparently Hendrick has a huge Dodge Chrysler dealership in Charlotte.
Oh, I believe it. I know they have a Honda dealership in Daytona. He's an entrepreneur. I get it.
Kunman still trying to get to Zellner. He got to him. I think he may have almost hit him getting into turn 1. He seemed to back off there, came over the radio and apologized. So I think he's just trying to race him hard but fair. Doesn't want to wreck him quite yet. It's still early on.
A little bit of give and take early on. They maybe saw those first 2 cautions and thought, let's not do that again. For at least, maybe let's go to the finish and have another crazy finish like we did at Vegas. So Kunman thought better of that. But behind them, here comes Brad Kress. He has maintained his position, but you got James McKee behind them, Austin Bloom, Dylan Poteet, and Patrick Green. We have a 7-car breakaway. Next car back from Patrick Green is 2 seconds behind this top 7. So we have a clear, separation of talent at the moment. But someone that I'm surprised hasn't made his way through that pack. Justin Malarkey is still back in 11th. He took those new tires, and something that I noticed as soon as I got into the server, unlimited tire sets. So contact.
That's Kendall Kerr. Saved it.
What a save!
Wow.
Kendall Kerr, what a save!
Those were the 2 that were battling for the win last week at Bristol. This time it's Malarkey on the new tires, who's impatient, gets into Kerr. Kerr's also on new tires. Malarkey on newer tires, though, from about 5 laps fresher. But a great save by Kerr. That was outside the top 10 that they were battling that hard for.
Yeah, they kind of bundled up there. There's someone with a 2 car. That's Andrew Baker. He was severely off the pace there for a minute, but that was a big stack up out of the exit of turn 2. Very lucky that we didn't have another caution and out of turn 2. It seems like that's the place where these guys are going to wreck all night. But so far, we're still green. They're battling right now ahead of them, though.
I was going to say, how about the battle for the lead? Kunman got a great run off turn 2. Got to the inside down the back straightaway. Going to try and pull him down the front stretch. Zellner gets the better run on the high side. Beats him back to the line. And Kunman washes up. Couldn't keep it down there. It's going to allow Zellner to pull away on the outside. And now here comes McKee underneath Kress for 3rd.
And as this run goes on, we'll definitely see that outside line come into play. The less grip you have overall, it seems like that high line will become more advantageous as we see them side by side for 3rd. Here comes Austin Bloom looking to get back into the mix. He was passed by Kunman for 5th a moment ago, about 10 laps ago, but he's trying to make his way back up. Poteet on the high line trying to get a run. He's going to get a run on that number 3. He might have to go to the outside. He does. So we're going to be side by side for 3rd and side by side for 5th into 3.
Great battling back here. Looks like McKee's going to hang on to third. He'll get by Kress, clear him. Bloom on the inside trying to make something happen. You've got Petit in the outside line right behind Kress. As, well, now McKee's going to try and break away as they're side by side for fourth and for sixth.
And these guys side by side, it's a lot more disadvantageous when it comes to being side by side here at Rocking, especially out of turn 2. It's just so narrow on the exit. So you really got to check up for the guy on the outside if he's taking your line away. And right now, these guys are about 3/4 tenths of a second slower than our 2 leaders, and they are losing ground quickly as they're still side by side. Brad Kress fighting on that outside line, and I think he will finally get back to the bottom, give him the 4th spot for the time being.
I think they realized that they were losing time for the leaders and just thought, hey, let's just ride it out. Let's not lose too much time here. There's still a long way to go.
By the way, going back to the second pack, it looks like Kendall Kerr and Justin Malarkey decided to play nice for a little bit. They have made their way through this pack, and they are now leading it. And for the time being, they're running around the same lap times. You got a 41 out of Kendall Kerr, a 46 out of Malarkey, and that's the same lap times as the leader. So if they can get some track position here, maybe another caution, they'll be right back in the thick of it.
So if you're watching this and you're watching the Coke Series,
way different.
It probably looks a lot the same, honestly,
look, a
because they're both single
here.
file. Yeah, well, yeah, here we go. They're on the last lap, and they're still single file, blocking for third. Here's Zellner on the outside, hanging on to the race lead. And, oh boy. Well, that was a finish. Yeah.
He didn't even pull out and try to pass. What?
Nope. And
Conti,
I don't know if you saw that Conti got shuffled out of the way on the last lap.
Oh my gosh, what a horrible race. Anyway.
Yep. How about the battle for a second? Here comes McKee underneath Kunman.
Yeah, James McKee wants to earn one this week. He basically was gifted a win a couple weeks ago, but right now he is in the thick of things, trying to battle for that second position. But for the moment, they are spread out about 3/10 apart. And right now, it seems like this front pack is starting to, spread out just a little bit. But behind them, you got Malarkey and Kerr. They were just side by side out of turn 2. But these guys are starting to run the high line a little bit here, Jake. That high line might be the preferred groove at this point.
I think we're at that point in the run, especially for those that have not pitted yet, like this top 7. That, yeah, the outside line is probably going to be the best way to go on these older tires as this track just continues to get slicker and slicker. As we are 35 laps complete, McKee going to try it again to the inside.
Going to do it just yet. That outside line right now is the place to be, especially to defend. So if you're James McKee, you might have to, and we've seen this, in the 550 horsepower packages at these, D-oval tracks. You want to get to the outside line maybe to position yourself for a pass, because right now he will throw it into the inside, maybe try to send it, and no, it's just that outside line right now is just too strong. He's going to maybe just hope for Allen to wear out his tires on that second, third groove, maybe a little bit patient, but they're still side by side, and that is all Scott Zellner would love to see at the moment. He is pulling away due to this battle for second.
Hey, to be fair, though, the Coke Series is, they're putting on a show to match the Cup race from this past weekend. Snoozer. It's just they're at the wrong racetrack.
What are those, videos on YouTube, videos to fall asleep to? Coke. You got, the rumbling waves of the ocean. You got the boredom that is the Coke Series at Talladega. It is what it is, but big mistake from Alan Kunman at turn 2. That gives the position to James McKee, and that's going to bring a bunch of these guys underneath.
Yeah, Kunman got a little too wide off, too, and that allowed McKee to pull away. That's going to allow Brad Kress to get by. It's going to open the door for Austin Bloom here on the inside. We'll see how that works out for the 3. Looks like he's going to get the spot.
How could you not
had an issue in the back, apparently. I don't know what or who. Dalton Beerer, who's already 5 laps down. Okay, 2 laps down. That's the 38. Dalton Beerer. What happened? Oh. So he got up into the wall off turn 2. Came down into Andrew Baker. who then came down and slammed into Caleb Morrissey, who just got back onto the racetrack after sitting on pit road for 12 minutes.
I'm not sure about Andrew Baker's pace because, he was on track. He's been on track this entire time. He is significantly slower than the rest of the field. He is running 26.6s. Last time by, even before that, he was in the mid 27. So he is just way off the pace. And, these guys are starting to fall off even up front. 26.2 for Scott Zellner and the rest of the field behind them around running similar lap times. We may see different strategies. This pit road it's short, but it's also got a very fast pit road speed. So the delta is very quick. So you can get away with pitting two times here, and with the difference in the lap times from new tires to old tires, it may be worth doing that. We'll have to wait and see.
Gotta wonder, Baker has not made a pit stop yet, if he's just abused those tires.
That's for the lead.
This early on, here comes McKee to the inside of Zellner. Zellner pulled away after Koonman bobbled, but McKee is going to try and take it all the way to the front, get his second win on the season. Still side by side. Zellner's strongest spot has been the entry into turn one, and you see why, but McKee's able to draw back close, at least on exit.
They're going to be side by side for the moment. They single file out, but that's going to allow Austin Bloom to take advantage of the crest. Checked up number 29. He's going to go to the inside, but the outside line, like I mentioned, Jake, it's faster on these longer runs, but it does burn through your tires a lot quicker. And Rockingham already, as it is, just kills tires. It eats tires. The surface of this track is so old, and they've modeled that in iRacing. And here comes McKee once again, trying to get underneath that number 4.
Pulls to the inside, closing in on 45 laps complete. And McKee is going to get the spot. James McKee, new race leader here from Rockingham. Here comes the 3 of Austin Bloom to the inside, looking for second with Zellner running the high side.
We've seen Alan Kunman. He's already fallen back. He was battling for the lead a few laps ago. Maybe he used his tires up. He is falling quickly. He is now falling all the way back into the 6th position. Dylan Poteet going to try and battle with him as well. But another driver that is in the mix. You see that green number 73 in the picture. He is a rocket ship with those only a few laps extra or a few laps less on those tires. He ran a 25.8 that last time by. They're running 26.1s ahead of him. He is flying.
Granted, that was with clean air in front of him. Now he has this pack of cars that he has to navigate, so those times may slow down a little bit, but still, Koonman trying to hang on here, battling with Patrick Green for 5th. I think Koonman may have started to get back into his rhythm a little bit. But here comes Austin Bloom now, underneath McKee. We need to come here every week.
How can you not like Rockingham? Man, I wish they came to this place still in real life. It is such a shame, but here comes Bloom, then unsponsored number 3. He's going to concede for now. He'll be trying to pull away from this pack because right now behind them, you got Zellner still trying to defend his position. He has now lost the lead, and now he is fighting just to stay on the podium. He is in 3rd battling with Kress, and he has stayed on that outside line, and I think it's just because he absolutely has to. If he goes to the inside line, I think he's going to be eaten alive, and he has to wait a little bit on the throttle. And here comes the rest of the pack behind him.
Kress going to take that 3rd spot away, slide it up in front of Zellner in the corner. Koonman now on the inside line trying to take this spot away. He was battling the 4 for the lead. Now he's battling him for 4th. As just the wheels have kind of fallen off the bus here for Scott Zellner. He just keeps backing on up.
Note to self, don't push tires. 3 wide. That'll be, here comes Malarkey. That's going to be 3 wide for 6th. Poteet all the way up against the safety barrier. Patrick Green says, I'll wait. I've seen how this can play out. I've already been wrecked for the win once this year. Let me be here for the finish and, maybe have that happen again. We'll see. But right now, that number 73 is on the move.
And Koonman hanging in there. He got a little loose. Malarkey has to lift. He thought about threading the needle, but he didn't have the room. Kind of got the door slammed in his face there. He's going to try it again. He's going to get real close to Petit here off the corner. Maybe try and cut it underneath. Didn't get quite enough of a run to cut underneath Koonman here down the straightaway, so he's just going to have to kind of ride this thing out here. Instead of being too aggressive, here comes Green to the back bumper. He can't get anywhere, though. And here comes
here he goes again.
Shot out of a cannon, 3 wide. See you later. Oh, he got a little loose. It doesn't matter. He's got the spot.
tag the apron a little bit. He's going to be now forced 3 wide in the middle. Kunman thought he could get that advantage by that mistake of Malarkey into turn 3. But that number 73 says, nuh-uh, we're going to keep going. And Zellner's still fighting on this outside line. But this has brought another driver into the mix. You got now the Kendall Kerr machine in the 21. He is in this. And Scott Wheeler, out of nowhere, has decided to join this battle. He's trying to get underneath the 87 of Patrick Green for 9th. And up front, they're still trying to battle. And actually, we have a new leader. Austin Bloom is your leader now. He took the lead, I believe, last lap.
So Austin Bloom has wound up in the lead. There's lap traffic just ahead in Beerer and Baker. They are battling for position while these guys are fighting it out for the lead. Meanwhile, Malarkey breaks away into P4. Crest is in 3rd. There goes Beerer. Looks like they're going to catch Baker here in the corner. Bloom is stuck on the inside line, and McKee's going to get by.
Andrew Baker is off pace. That was a little bit nerve-wracking to see how you were a leader. Here comes Crest as well, trying to get underneath, but they're 3 wide again. You got Wheeler trying to get underneath Kerr. They had to check out big into turn 3, and these guys are losing a ton of time to our top 2. Brad Crest got away from it, but you got Malarkey, who has finally gotten around this big pack. He is now in the 4th position, 2 seconds back, but Scott Zellner still on that very outside line. Now he's up against the wall at this point. He is just trying his best not to hemorrhage all these spots that he made up early on, and he wore out his tires, obviously. Right now, he is all over the place. Here comes Baker.
Baker in the way. They're 3 wide, almost 4 wide. Kunman trying to hang on to it. Just park it, son. Oh, Green missed the entry. Up the hill he goes. That's going to push Zellner wide.
Baker's in the way. Here comes Caleb Morrissey, 27 laps down. He's got fresh tires, so he's going to, I guess, try to, as safe as you can, make his way through this battle for position. Scott Zellner's still stuck on the outside line. He has now fallen all the way back to 8th, so he is net -7 spots on this run. He's probably trying his best to get down. He's going to want to come in for tires as soon as he can. But meanwhile, I think we're settling out now. I think it's not as crazy it was, as long as, these guys don't wreck each other. I think we'll be all right. And as I say that, they're going side by side again.
Well, that's Malarkey. He got by Crest, so Malarkey's now P3. He is about a 10th a lap quicker than the 2 leaders, so he may catch them here before we see green flag pit stops, as the 5 of Andrew Siegel bounced it off the wall right in front of Malarkey. We keep rolling, though. No harm, no foul there. How about the battle for P6? This is Scott Wheeler, Patrick Green. We already saw Wheeler get involved in one accident tonight. The guy in front of him, Kendall Kerr, has also been involved in an accident tonight. Great rebound for him, though, inside the top 5 and just on the doorstep of the top 5.
I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like I hear flapping. I think some tires are about to go down because these slap cars are very much off the pace. They are running about a 1.5 seconds slower. And the 7, Cody Robinson just hit the wall. That was a little bit nerve-wracking. Andrew Siegel also in the wall in that 5 speed energy.
Yeah. This is like a multi-class race at this point. You've got the leaders, you've got everybody else. James McKee is coming to pit road. That's 2nd place who's on pit road. And that might just open the floodgates if they don't crash before they get there. Look at Robinson. Look at this pack that he's got behind him here.
Yeah, he is holding up all this. Kunman is going to be the big loser in that. Beerer goes to the inside. He just tries to get out of the way of these guys. But right now, Chance Duckworth, Alan Kunman and company, the big losers because of that giant checkup. But looking at the way the laps are going to set up, here comes Crest. He's coming in. It's halfway in terms of the laps, but these guys were under caution for a good 8 to 10 laps. So a lot less wear on the tires this run. If this goes green, they're going to have to go a lot further this next run. We'll have to see how this tire wear develops later on in the race.
Brad Crest on pit road to make his stop. Robinson that we were just talking about, he's on pit road right now.
Kunman's coming in.
Yep, so Kunman's going to bring it in. Here comes Bossy, who was involved in an earlier accident. He's on to pit road. And we'll see if and when the rest of these guys decide to come on. Because it's going to be happening sooner or later here, you'd have to imagine. Here comes the race leader. No, he's staying out. False alarm. Zellner staying out. I'm just watching speeds here, and nobody's coming in.
Zellner is coming in. Snyder climbed the wall earlier. He's coming in. Car doesn't look that bad. Looks good.
Yeah. Baker just came in, the 2 car. Here comes the 3. Here comes the 97. Yeah, the 97 is in. The 73 is in. So this is basically everybody else.
I just feel like this is too early. I think they're gonna.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna live to regret this. They're gonna have to go 60 laps green on these tires, and
Well, unless they're banking on a caution.
yeah, I would hope not. I mean, they're on the pits. Kendall Kerr's still out there. He's running 26 threes, so he hasn't really fallen off that much. Patrick Green around the same pace, so they're still out there. Poteet, Duckworth, the only 4 drivers that haven't pitted yet.
How about Trevor Hook? He's been way back there. He just had the fastest lap of the race.
And he's been out there a while on these new tires. He pitted, I think, around lap 55.
Race leader in, Kendall Kerr. Patrick Green takes over the race lead for now.
Chance Duckworth is in. He's slowly but surely and silently made his way into the mix. He was fighting for a top 10 before these pit stops. I like this strategy, though. I think staying out here is the move, as long as you're not hemorrhaging a ton of time.
Well, and Patrick Green, no, he did not pit yet. So everybody that's stayed out at this point, as Green comes onto pit road, take a look here and see if Petit is staying out there, and McCarris will stay out there. Those are the only 2, Petit and McCarris, that have not pitted yet in this race. And Austin Bloom, new fastest lap. When this cycles around, it should put James McKee out in front by a little bit over Brad Kress, then Bloom, then Trevor Hook, actually. But he's on older tires compared to everybody else. And then Wheeler, it looks like. But
Poteet is throwing the parking brake out right now. He is on really old tires. He just ran a 26.9. He's got to come in.
He's got a parachute on that thing. Yeah, here he comes.
Yep.
So he comes on, and everybody else is pitted. McCarris is in. Yep. So James McKee is going to come around. He's on the back straightaway right now, and he's got a just under a 3-second lead over Brad Kress.
Poteet's staying out that long. He is just now in his box. No, he's not even in his box yet. There he goes. McKee is passing him on track. He may go a lap down here for staying out that long.
Maybe. So James McKee retakes the race lead now with just under a 3-second lead over Brad Kress. Then it's Austin Bloom. Then it's Scott Wheeler and Trevor Hook, who are battling for 4th. And now Justin Malarkey is going to take over P5 because he's going to get by Trevor Hook. You can see this battle right here. They've got McCarris in front of him. Whoa, boy, Malarkey gets by, but at what cost?
And these guys are about 6.5 seconds behind our leader, James McKee, just stayed out. Only about 2 or 3 laps later than our current leader, but we saw that last run, how important tires were late in the run. So this might be a net positive if this goes green for Malarkey and company. These guys made up a ton of time last time. That last run, they were way back in 17th, 18th position, made their way into the top 5. So I anticipate to be able to do that again. The difference is a lot bigger ground to make up.
So we are officially past the halfway point. Here from the Rock. Yeah. Austin Bloom is reeling him in, though. Bloom was 0.3 faster than McKee that last time by. So it's not over for this win by any stretch of the imagination.
Austin Bloom pitted on lap 65. And McKee pitted on lap 61. So about a 4-lap difference in tires. That's pretty big here at Rockingham. Battle for whatever this is.
That is sixth, I think, between Kundman, Zellner, Hook, Kendall Kerr, and Patrick Green, who's right behind those guys as well.
Tyler Snyder in that mix, 2 laps down, just trying to log laps. Like I said, surprisingly clean despite flipping and crashing 4 times, barreling over. Good resilience for the number 33. But I think we're going to want to keep our eye on these guys that pitted way later. Kendall Kerr is flying. Malarkey is digging as well. He's just got to have to make up a lot of ground. He's already made up a second, though, since last time we talked to him. He's all the way in 4th. I think he's got the best shot to make up this ground all the way up to James McKee. We'll just have to wait and see. They're still side by side here.
That's the car that was upside down in Tyler Snyder right behind Hook. Snyder is 2 laps down at the moment, and he's still going to try and get by the 84, and he might just do it here headed to turn 1.
Looking at when they pitted, Tyler Hook, he was around the back half of the top 20 before pit stops. He pitted on lap 54, so he pitted way early. He might be the only person out here that could... he's going to have to do the 2-stop strategy, I believe, as far as under green. There's no way he can go, 70 laps on tires. There's just no way.
Unless there's a caution. And even then, everybody's going to pit anyway. So I think for Hook, he's hoping that everybody else is going to come in after him, and he may have a shot at it, but it's going to be a stretch for the driver of the 84. The gap is under a second between James McKee and Austin Bloom for the race lead. It didn't take long. Austin Bloom has had the fish and pull out for the last couple of laps, and he's reeling him in, and soon he's going to catch him.
And right now, McKee's having to deal with Andrew Siegel. He's a lap car. He's about a 10th faster as well than our leader, just pitted a little bit later than the number 9 of McKee. So he's going to go to the inside and disrupt our leader here into turn 1. And that's going to be everything that Bloom wants to see. As they go side by side, McKee gets the run. But right now, that is Andrew Siegel, 2 laps down, trying to go to 1 lap down, but for now stays behind that number 9 into turn 3.
And Siegel is on fresher tires than the race leader. But, I mean, if you're James McKee, how happy are you that you have a lap car racing you while the second place car is now a half a second away from you?
I think we know the answer to that. And another thing, I mean, Andrew Siegel, he's back here, for a reason. He killed his tires last run, and I anticipate things to kind of equal out here. So if you're McKee, you see that he's, way in the back, and I don't even say in the way, but he was about a second slower towards the tail end of that last run. You don't want to give him the spot knowing that he'll be slower later on. He's fighting right now to stay in front of that number 5.
So we're inside 45 laps to go. And that's Patrick Green for Zellner. This is P7. You've got Kendall Kerr right there as well. So 3-car battle for that 7th position. And probably the closest battle on the racetrack right now that isn't for the lead.
See if Zellner learned his lesson from last time. Wonder if he's saving his stuff a little bit here. Pitted on lap 64, so right around the middle of our pit cycle. I think he's aware that maybe running that outside line was not the best move. Maybe run a little bit conservative, run maybe around 80%. He's currently in the back half, the top 10 and 9th. But if he saves his stuff here, he saw just how important those tires were at the end. He saw those guys gap him by 2-3 seconds, lost 8-10 positions. And as we get closer down the front stretch, it's going to be 42 laps to go. And Siegel's on the outside. Here comes Bloom underneath him. And the next car ahead of him is going to be our leader in James McKee, and he is coming quick.
Yeah, he just blew by Siegel. McKee's had trouble holding Siegel off. Bloom just, flew right on by, and he's right on the back bumper of the race leader looking for the lead.
Textbook 3 and 4 from that number 3. Hook that yellow line through 3 and 4. Going to try and do the same thing in 1 and 2. Let's see if McKee pinches him off the corner. Not really. But he's going to get a better run out of turn 2 down the backstretch of Thunder Valley. They're still going to be side-by-side into 3. Bloom definitely has the faster car at the moment. But as these guys are battling side-by-side, here comes the rest of the leaders. Here comes Kress, and here comes that 73 of Justin Malarkey.
Just happened to look over. I switched over to Moon Car, and Travis is giving us a very important Zoom lesson-like education here on the wonderful verbiage of netcode. He's got the John Madden telestrator going. Best show on the service is Austin Bloom is your race leader with 38 laps to go.
Say this. Travis has a telestrator. Jordan has a telestrator. And those two are probably the most entertaining broadcasts in terms of the iRacing service. I think there's a universal, just get a telestrator and just start writing everything that you think about on, saved replays. I think you'll be starting to go places. But speaking of going places, here comes Malarkey. He has now passed Adam Kress for third, and he is now looking for second, right behind James McKee.
We need to invest in a telestrator for Core.
Might get dangerous. And Austin Bloom is gone.
Oh, yeah, he's long gone. It's already almost a second and a half. Zach, invest in telestrator for us, would you please?
He said it's in the budget, all right.
Gets it. Gets the spot, maybe. Yes, he's got it. So, telestrator's in the budget. Fixed router is in the budget. Is there anything that's not in the budget?
There's a lot of things on that list.
Second.
That's out of the budget.
Well, yeah. Oh my. Alrighty.
Look at the lap times.
Go.
Austin Bloom is, I don't know if he's using his stuff. Obviously, Malarkey was fighting for position, but 4/10 faster that last time by. I think Malarkey was just held up just a little bit. We'll have to wait and see if he has the pace to catch the number 3. And a little bit closer that time by 5:68 to a 6:30. Tyler Snyder says it's raining. I believe he's just trying to have some mercies. It's 2 laps down. I think he's ready to call it a day. But McKee losing a ton of spots right now. He was our leader a little bit earlier. Here comes Kress on the inside.
I wonder if maybe he just abused his stuff here on this green flag run, and that's why he's just fallen further and further backward as we are inside 35 laps to go.
Looking at the intervals, Kendall Kerr is around 8.5 seconds back. He has now dropped that down to 5.6 seconds at the line. Make that 5.6 seconds, so they're starting to stall out. Scott Wheeler ahead of them. Patrick Green. It's a battle for 5th. McKee on the outside. Loses the position to Brad. That was for 3rd, so move McKee to 4th. Maybe trying to fight for it again. Not quite.
Well, I can tell you that not even Justin Malarkey can catch Austin Bloom. The gap is 2 seconds. Malarkey's about a 10th slower than Bloom each lap. So, looks like we may be staring in the face at yet another week of Justin Malarkey just too short at winning a race. Nonetheless, we'll step aside here. 30 laps to go. We'll go side by side. You won't miss anything. We'll be back for the finish here from The Rock in just a moment. Austin Bloom is your race leader.
This is iRacing, the world's premier online racing game. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat to experience today's newest form of competitive motorsport, virtual racing, all from your home PC. Race virtually in endorsed series from NASCAR, IndyCar, IMSA, the World of Outlaws, Aussie Supercars and more. Take on legendary circuits like Daytona, Silverstone and the Nürburgring. Join iRacing's global online racing community and get on track today at iRacing.com.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000?
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
All right, we're back from side by side. 26 laps to go. Here from Rockingham, I think 26 laps to... No, 27 laps to go. You're going to find that if you are new to STN and you're going to watch anything in the future that has me on it, you're going to learn fast that me and math don't go well. If the number's not in front of me, cut and dry, I'm not getting it right. Example A, right there. But we got a battle right here that we're focusing on. James McKee is clinging for dear life. You've got the 84 of Trevor Hook, who just pitted, by the way, 9 laps ago. So you were right, Kevin. He was going to have to pit again. McKee is just clinging for every spot he can right now. He was leading. He's 6th, trying to hang on for dear life as Trevor Hook gets a little sideways. A lot of sideways.
That's not how you take advantage of the new tires. Got dead sideways out of turn 4 trying to get around our leaders. You got Kerr right in front of him. He goes side by side. Let's see if he does the same thing. He gets really close to the wall, and Kerr knows that he just saw what happened in his mirror. Gives him a little bit of room. But right now, a lot of spread out racing, and Malarkey, I wouldn't call him out yet. Just ran about a 10th faster than our leader in Bloom. I think he knows that you have to save your tires, but the focus at the moment is this battle from third on back. Here comes Hook on those new tires, and he's about a second faster. I don't think that's going to be enough to get back even on the lead lap. We'll see.
Gotta wait and find out as we're inside 25 laps to go now. Austin Bloom doesn't have a ton of lap traffic immediately. He's got Cody Robinson out in front of him. The next lapper is Kundman, believe it or not, who's running pretty off the pace down the back straightaway. I think he just got the outside wall a little bit, but right now it's pretty much on easy street for Austin Bloom. We'll see if Justin Malarkey can have anything to say about it. Remember, he got hunted down for the win, really, in the last 2 races this season. Him and Patrick Green made contact on the last lap at Las Vegas. Kendall Kerr blew by him like he was chained to a tree because of tire strategy last week at Bristol. And Kerr went on to win the race. So, Malarkey, he'd love a win. Don't know if he has the time or the car to do it at this point, as we're at 21 to go.
2.2 second advantage right now for Bloom over Malarkey. Gonna have to wait and see if we can see Justin become another bridesmaid here in race 3. But behind them, you got Patrick Green. He has now solidly made his way into the top 3. Started 14th, got a great run. And that Haas Automation lookalike number 87. Not sure what's on the hood there. Let's give him a shout out. Let's zoom in. Voorhees Gaming.
Can we get an NBC it or a Fox?
Yeah, you got the. I like this. I love the way this car. I love the way this car looks. Like I said, it gives you like a nice Haas Automation vibe. Voorhees Gaming. Not sure if that's on like if that's just like a group or whatever, but
yeah.
If there's a Twitch or anything like that, be sure to support it. We like to support our partners. Patrick, a part of this league.
Yeah, I don't think there is a Twitch handle on that.
Then you got Kendall Kerr in the 21, and Jake, you and Zach were telling me a story about that. Apparently, one of his kids drew that car. That's pretty cool to hear about.
Yes. Yeah, his son drew it for him. I ran it last week, took it to victory lane in his first ever start last week at Bristol. And here he is. He got involved in a wreck early, but rebounded nicely. And Kendall Kerr sits in P4, trying to close in on Patrick Green, get himself on the podium here before this thing's said and done.
Quite a wholesome picture of from his son. He's got an Ethereum crypto sponsor on the back, so he knows he still has business on it, so that's good. Be sure to buy Ethereum. I have about half of one, and we've had a very tough week so far, so be sure to help support that.
And then on the other end of the spectrum, for the third week in a row, we're going to make fun of Scott Wheeler because he doesn't know that his roof number's facing the wrong way, or he
Oh my God!
want to change it.
I didn't even realize that that's still like that.
Come on, yeah.
Oh.
Yep. I think it's gotta be a weekly tradition at this point that we bring up Scott Wheeler and the backward facing roof number every week for the rest of the season. I think that's in our contract now.
Zach, we need to just get into the TGA file and can we just edit that? That's insane. Oh goodness. And then they're like
next week we flip them all on everybody's car. We flip them to look like Scott Wheeler, and we won't say a thing. We'll just ignore it.
Now, maybe this is just my memory serving me wrong, but I also remember I think the Sharpie logo was white on the side of the car, but could be wrong. That's a very minor. It's a very minor detail, but gross. I can't believe you've done this. Hey, he's below the pit though. He's battling with Crest. Crest is falling off.
It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. But yeah, he's done a nice job. He got involved in that accident, that second accident of the day. But he's rebounded very, very nicely. Kerr as well. It was involved in that. So nice day all the way around. It helps when you've had a giant green flag run to help get yourself back up to the front.
Man, Alan Kunman, he showed that he didn't really save his tires the first run. He is way off pace. He just ran a 28.3 compared to our leaders, which are running 26.1s. So he is way off the pace. He is officially a lap down. He's the first car on the one lap down. So we do get a caution, which I hope we don't. Let's get this race under green and finish under green. But he'll be our lucky dog at the moment. But he is hemorrhaging time right now.
Well, if we do get a caution, that's going to put a monkey wrench in all of this. We're inside 15 to go. That's the 6 of Caleb Morrissey coming to pit road. Was involved in the second caution flag of the day, was leading before he spun the tires, hit the outside wall. Then a couple laps later, hit the outside wall again, coming off 2 and wiped out a couple of others. He brings it to pit road.
Seems to be a trend in this league. You know, get a couple incidents under our belt, and then we just go green the rest of the way. I'm okay with that. You know.
Yeah.
I'm all right if that's a trend.
Personally, I hope when we come back next week, we go to a plate track. Let's go to the
Talladega. Turn 2. Saved it. Been watching this battle for 10th. They have been battling left and right. It's the 0-1 and the 28.
Petit and Duckworth.
Yeah, Petit climbed the fence just a little bit, saved it off the corner. They continue. But these guys are about 20 seconds behind our leaders in Bloom and Malarkey. But that almost got hairy for these guys in the back of the field.
Great save by Petit to keep the drive alive here. As Malarkey now is running faster laps than Bloom. The only problem is it's a 2-second gap. He's only running about 0.2 faster, and he's coming to 8 laps to go.
Yeah, maybe a little too late for him. Like I said, I think he was saving his stuff just a little bit. He just made it underneath 2 seconds, and Bloom will have to deal with Andrew Siegel here momentarily. Probably going to be an easy pass. He's about 2 seconds off pace to our leader, Andrew Hook, running very similar lap times with those newer tires, but he is falling off. Very spread out here in the top 4. You got Patrick Green in 3rd, Kerr still in 4th, Wheeler 5th. And looking at the interval again, only about a 400th gap that time by in favor of Malarkey.
You got Siegel again, right in front of Austin Bloom. Been there pretty much the entire green flag run, and Bloom goes sailing right on by.
Well, I think they're lapping him again from that run before. Like when he was in the middle, I think so. He just ran at 27.7 compared to a 26.4. Yeah, I think he just got lapped again.
Well, these things happen. Coming to 5 to go. Here from Rockingham, looking for our 3rd different winner and our 3rd different race on the season. as Austin Bloom just trying to bring it home in one piece. We need to get a sponsor and some paint on that race car.
Primer gray looks good, but it doesn't pay the bills. He's had a good, clean race. You know, he was quiet the first 50 laps or so. Andrew Baker coming in, 17 laps down. He might be calling it a night.
Yeah, Bloom was very quiet. There was a point where I thought he might finish, top 5, back half of the top 5. But on this green flag run, he's really taken off. And got the lead. Had to pit like everybody else. Blew by McKee. And hasn't given it up since. Coming to 3 laps to go this time for driver number 3.
Speaking of James McKee, him and Brad Kress, as they are battling for position, that's for 7th. These guys were 1st and 2nd at the beginning of this run. They pitted the earliest out of everybody, and they definitely have paid for it. They have fallen 14 seconds behind Austin Bloom, as we're going to be 2 laps to go next time by.
Condman just brought it to pit road. Not sure if he's parking it or if he's going to try and get tires here and maybe go for a fastest lap or something. 2 to go on the board. Popsicle sticks here at start finish for Austin Bloom, who has just under a 2-second lead over Justin Malarkey. And what a race it's been for the driver of the 3. Had a great run all night. He may not have the fastest lap of the race, but consistency has been more the key for Austin Bloom. White flag here from the Rock.
Austin Bloom proving that here at Rockingham, tire management is everything, and he is now reopening that gap to Justin Malarkey. 2.1 seconds with 1 lap to go.
Through 3 and 4, 3rd different winner in 3 races, and appropriately enough, it's the driver of the 3 that'll take it to victory lane. Austin Bloom is the king of the Rock. He wins at Rockingham.
Justin Malarkey in 2nd. Patrick Green finishes in 3rd. Kendall Kerr 4th. Scott Wheeler coming across the line. He will finish in 5th. Scott Zellner, our pole sitter, led a handful of laps today. He will finish in 6th. James McKee gets around Brad Kress. He will finish in the 7th position. Brad Kress 8th. Adam Bossy, didn't really talk about him much tonight after that accident. He finishes in 9th, and Chance Duckworth will round out our top 10.
Austin Bloom will burn down the house here from start finish. Picking up his first win on the season. And Austin Bloom in the points. He's only made 1 start. He only ran 1 lap. So how about that? He went from 17 total points on the season to winning in his 2nd start on the season. Great turnaround for Austin Bloom.
Still needs a sponsor, though. Got to get him a sponsor.
Yeah, he only ran 1 lap at Bristol a week ago. Kevin already ran through the top 10 for us. Bloom, Malarkey, Green, Kerr, Wheeler, Zellner, McKee, Kress, Bossy, Duckworth. Dylan Petit finishes in 11th. Scott McCarris, the first car lap down, will finish in 12th. 13th, Trevor Hook. 14th, Tyler Snyder. 15th, Cody Robinson. How about Tyler Snyder? Was on his head in the opening laps, and he brings it home 14th. Cody Parkey, good grief. Cody Robinson, how about in 15th? Alan Kundman, no double doinks tonight. Kundman finishes 16th. Andrew Siegel in 17th. Dalton Beerer, who started 2 laps down, finishes in 18th. Andrew Baker, 19th. Caleb Morrissey, promising start, not the result he wanted. 40 laps down in 20th. Then out of the race, Ryan Potter and Tony Whittier.
I hope you're not a Bears fan. That would have been pain.
No, I'm an Eagles fan. It's worse, believe me.
Oh, there you go. Hey, you won a Super Bowl recently. It's cool.
Yeah.
Laps after.
Alrighty, let's talk with our race winner, Austin Bloom. So things may not have gone the way you wanted them to at Bristol last week.
No.
But I would say a pretty good rebound here, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah. Can't go any better than that.
So take us through really that last green flag run that lasted for most of this race. You're running in the back half of the top 5 and started picking them off one at a time, and then you were just out of here.
Yeah, I mean, well, I had no confidence after practice. I really felt I was searching for speed. I didn't feel like I was as fast as, Malarkey and McGee and, some of those other guys. So I was just running fit there, and I'm just going to sit here and kind of watch, let them run out their tires. And then as they started battling, I just kind of picked my spots and picked them off one by one. And then I just kind of realized, wow, I got a lot more tire than they do. And I just kind of stretched that advantage and hitting a couple laps after Jimmy and Brad really helped, gave me a fresh tire advantage. I got to run them down a little bit quicker and kind of build up a gap to Malarkey. And I was really nervous when he got to second place because I've raced with him in leagues for a year now, and he's famous for long run speed, and he's just outstanding. So I was kind of sweating it there and really happy I could keep a solid gap to him.
Well, congratulations on the win. Hopefully we'll find you a sponsor and a bucket of paint for next week.
I have a paint scheme. SP Designs and Dylan Batten hooked me up with a paint scheme. I just haven't got it uploaded yet. It's beautiful. We'll see it next week, hopefully. It looks great and can't wait.
Well, congratulations on the win, and of course we'll see you next week at wherever in the world the wheel decides to land on.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations again, and we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Austin Bloom, race winner tonight from Rockingham. Second place, again, Justin Malarkey. He's got Mark Martin syndrome. Kevin McAdams is with him.
Justin, I hate to bring this up, but like Jake said, you have now finished second again. Tell us about your race, man. You have been the class of the field, it seems like, every single week, and this week was no different. You pitted a little bit early to get some new tires. Tell us about driving through the field there with those freshies.
Yeah, well, Austin definitely gave a spanking to everyone as well tonight. But I went in on lap 7. It was like 3 green flag laps on our tires. Coming up through traffic, though, I was just killing my stuff. I was trying to be patient, and I was behind the 21 for like 10 laps, and I just kept putting my nose there, and then we made some contact and lost some time there. But the tires really mattered. I mean, once I got to like the 6th, 7th, 5th place cars, it was just like night and day, just those extra 3 laps of tires. But then we ended up pitting, so it equalized, and I missed my box by like a second or so. Getting in, it was on that curve, and that kind of made me drive a little harder when I came out, and I was burning my stuff up. But still, I don't think I had anything for Austin. He just was definitely the winning driver out there tonight. He was spanking everyone.
Well, Austin gave you a little bit of a shout out, being famous for long runs. I've seen, these races go green here at Rockingham. It just seems like, the tire wear is crazy. How hard was it to be able to try and pass on that inside line and, at the same time try to realize, maybe in 30 laps here, I might be down another second?
Yeah, that's the fine line, and I'm sure he was talking about it. When I was behind some of those cars, like, I knew I could probably force the issue and maybe get past them. But if you don't, you're just underneath them for 3, 4, 5 laps in a row. Then your tires are just cooked. And like, you're better off just being patient, waiting 10 laps, and then waiting for them to make a mistake. As weird as it sounds, and I know Austin was doing that for sure. He's very smart, and he's great at saving tires. In fact, if I was waiting for him to beat us in Bristol last week, but I know he got caught up in an accident. He's really good there at saving tires.
Well, Justin, you've definitely had the pace every week so far. So we look forward to you being in the booth again for yet another interview. Hopefully get you in victory lane. You've definitely been up front. We hope to see you soon. Good job on the finish tonight.
Thanks for broadcasting too. It's really fun to watch. It's a great picture too.
I think all goes to Zach Johnson. He's one of the best.
Well, he's great. So if anyone's looking for him, give him a call, have him broadcast. It's great.
Hopefully we don't see him on a milk carton. That's not the best way you want to look for.
No.
That's Justin Malarkey. That went down a tangent that got dangerous real quick.
Yeah, I don't know if Zach really wants to do every broadcast under the sun unless he can clone himself a couple of times.
Yeah,
man's busy enough, right?
Right.
Third place finisher Patrick Green joins us now. Man, so close at Las Vegas. Minus that crash, 3 great races to start out the season for you.
Yeah, I really hate that about Vegas. I just didn't know that the cars would hook together like that. But you know how iRacing is with these ARCA cars. Now I know. So sorry I ruined that broadcast for y'all. It was going to be a really cool finish.
Ruined?
Well, it ruined it for me anyway. So, but I'm just glad to be up here and finally get a top 3 and be able to come chat with y'all for once.
Well, a great run here for you tonight. And you know, it's not really too surprising. I had to look up where you finished last week because I couldn't remember. Snuck in with a P4. I mean, that's a second. You were running second on the last lap at Las Vegas. 4th last week. 3rd this week. Kind of like just a malarkey. When are you going to find victory lane?
Yeah, working on it. Hopefully next race would be nice. I felt pretty good about Bristol and Rockingham, and you know, like I said, good runs. It's just hard to get the track position and do everything right. But if I keep running up, you know, top 3s, top 5s, and stuff, it'll, you know, keep me in contention with the points. But I mean, surely I'll, you know, eventually get into victory lane if you run up front enough. So we'll get it in there.
Well, congratulations on the 3rd place finish, and we'll see you from a racetrack, a virtual racetrack next week. We'll find out which one, I guess, 30 minutes before we go.
Right. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for putting on the show. Y'all do a really, really good job every week. I look forward to Wednesday mornings being able to watch the broadcast, and thanks to my fiance for letting me come in here and run, and thanks for the boys at 600 Racing for being good teammates and whatnot.
Patrick Green, 3rd place finisher tonight from Rockingham. Final thoughts here, Kevin, from probably one of the best racetracks on the service, if not the best. Confidently saying that.
I have been in this booth for 2 races so far, and you know, despite the, you know, racing a little bit spread out, these races are really fun to watch, and I hope to be a part of it again. This league, only 20 guys right now, it looks like, regulars. If you haven't heard of this league and you're looking for something to join on a Tuesday, by all means, give these guys a look. They put on quite a show, and they have a lot of fun doing it.
And it's been a lot of fun to watch these first 3 races as well. Coming up on STN, I doubt there's a graphic for it. Let's see how much I can remember off memory here. So, the second round, the last race of the eNASCAR Auto Pro Qualifying iRacing Series, round 2 from Phoenix. That's Thursday. The entire band won't be together. Kevin won't be with us. Sean will. Justin will be down on pit road again, I think. I'll be there. Zach will be pressing all the buttons for the finale of that. That's Thursday, 9 o'clock. Then Monday next week, we are at Talladega for Four Corners Racing League. That's an 8:30 start. A week from tonight, we're back with the Highline Racing League and the HighPoint.com Premier Series at wherever the heck we are. Really, I think that's it for now. So that's what's coming up here on STN. There will be announcements in the future that will be made sooner or later.
Maybe.
Eventually.
Sometime.
I'm just going to spill the beans on this now. So Core, for those of you that know what Core is, the Core League with like the YouTubers, but most of the YouTubers left, so now it's actually cool people. It's back. Hey, I'm just speaking the truth. It's back for season 4. They're staying on iRacing. For those of you that keep up with it on Twitter, they've already announced the schedule for the fall brawl, like preseason rah-rah stuff. And STN is taking over, but not taking over. So basically, it's staying the way it was. Zach is taking over production. I can focus on broadcasting and my computer not melting. And we're going to bring Kevin and Sean over for entertainment in the booth as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. First broadcast is a week from Thursday. So we go from Road to Pro straight into Core throughout the offseason. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you can find that on Core's YouTube channel, which I think is literally just called The Core. But yeah, that's it. That's the deal with that. Nonetheless, that's our broadcast tonight from Rockingham. From all of us here, for Zach Johnson, our producer, and Kevin McAdams, alongside with me, I'm Jacob Pitts. Thanks for watching. We will see you Thursday for the second round of the eNASCAR Road Report Qualifying iRacing Series, and Monday with Four Corners Racing League. Till then, good night.